Millionaire's one-night mistake. He thought it was casual, until he found out she is a virgin. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It is quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let us return to our main character. Cole Harrison stands inside the private conference suite of the Beaumont Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, staring at the woman sitting across from him. The morning sun filters through the tall windows, striking the polished marble floors and catching in the edges of her nervous expression. Ava Coleman keeps her hands folded tightly in her lap, as if she is afraid they might betray her anxiety. Cole has spent years walking into rooms where people whispered about him, his money, his mistakes, his scandals. But today is different. Today, he is the one causing the awkward silence. He exhales slowly and sets a stack of documents on the table between them. Ava, he says, voice low, controlled, every word precise. I want to be straightforward with you. What happened between us last night? I understand there has been a misunderstanding, and now the press has turned it into something damaging for both of us. Ava's eyes flick toward the window. She has always felt out of place in places like this, rooms that smell like expensive leather and power. She is a substitute teacher, barely making rent, barely keeping her mother's medical bills from drowning her. She has no idea how her life spun into this whirlwind. Just 24 hours ago, she was finishing a late shift at a cafe near the pier, grateful for an extra $40. Now she is here, in a hotel suite, being asked to listen to a millionaire. Cole opens the folder. She notices the embossed gold seal, the clinical black text, the weight of it. A contract. He clears his throat. I need a fiancé, he says. Temporarily. Ava blinks. Excuse me. My board is pressuring me. Investors are demanding stability. And after those paparazzi photos of us outside the pier, the narrative is out of control. He leans back, jaw tight. The fastest way to clean up this mess and protect your privacy is a short-term engagement. 6 months. A contract marriage in name only. Ava's heartbeat thuds in her ears. Marriage? That is ridiculous. We do not even know each other. I know, he says. And I am not asking for a real marriage. This is paperwork. Appearances. You help me stabilize my reputation, and in return, I take care of your situation. Your mother's medical bills. Your housing. Everything. She stiffens. You look me up? I had to, Cole replies. His voice softens by a fraction. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I am trying to offer a solution before the tabloids tear both of us apart. But Ava is not thinking about tabloids. She is thinking about last night, how she trusted him for the first time in years, how she believed the quiet conversation under the pier lights meant something, and how he clearly did not see it the same way at all. She swallows hard. You believed it was casual, she whispers. All of it. Cole hesitates. That hesitation is the first tell. He knows he messed up, but he also does not understand why it matters so deeply to her. He slides the contract toward her. There are boundaries, he says. Clear ones. No real intimacy. No obligations. Strict professionalism. You appear at 5 major events with me. In 6 months, we part ways. You walk away financially secure and with your privacy protected. Ava stares at the pages. The neat bullet points. The signatures lines. The coldness of it. Her throat tightens. If I refuse. Cole's eyes lock onto hers. Then the story the online magazines are already building, about you being involved with me for attention, will get worse. They will not care about the truth. And you could lose your job. Your landlord called my office this morning. You are at risk of eviction. Ava's breath catches. The world tilts for a moment. Of course he knows everything. Men like Cole always know everything. He continues gently, as if feeling the shift in her posture. I am offering you protection, not control. You would keep your independence. You would have full transparency. And you would be paid for your time, legally, through a public charity arrangement. Nothing unlawful. Nothing hidden. Ava closes her eyes for a moment. She thinks of her mother, coughing through the night. She thinks of debt notices taped to the fridge. She thinks of the growing pressure in her chest that has not let her breathe freely in months. She opens her eyes. Why me, Cole? He answers without missing a beat. Because last night, you were honest. and honest people are hard to find in my world. A beat of silence. Ava looks down at the contract again. The weight of her reality presses against her like a wall. 6 months, she whispers. 6 months, he confirms. She exhales shakily, as if signing an invisible line in the air. Then, tell me what happens next. Cole leans forward, his expression unreadable. Next, he says, you and I become the most unexpected couple Los Angeles has ever seen. Ava Coleman leaves the Beaumont Hotel with the contract folder pressed tightly against her chest. The hallway outside feels colder than the conference suite, and every step echoes like a decision she is not ready to make. Her reflection follows her along the elevator's mirrored walls. Same tired eyes. Same loose cardigan. Same woman who woke up yesterday thinking life could not get any heavier. She was wrong. Outside, Los Angeles traffic hums, impatient and alive. Ava stands on the sidewalk, gripping the folder as if it might slip out of her hands and scatter everything she has left. A contract marriage. 6 months. Security in exchange for pretending to belong to a world that has never welcomed her. She should throw the folder in the nearest trash can. She should walk away. She should reclaim her dignity. But dignity does not pay rent. Dignity does not buy medicine. Dignity does not convince a landlord to give her more time. Ava steps onto the bus that takes her back to her neighborhood on the east side of the city. The air smells faintly of old vinyl seats and fast food wrappers. She sits by the window and watches the scenery change from luxury storefronts to cracked sidewalks and faded apartment buildings. Her apartment complex looks the same as always, quiet, a little worn down, but familiar. Inside, her mother sits on the couch wrapped in a blanket, flipping through channels with trembling fingers. Ava, honey, her mother says with a tired smile, you are home earlier than I expected. Ava forces a smile and sets the folder on the kitchen table. They cut my shift short, she says. It is not a lie, but it is not the truth either. Her mother coughs lightly. Sit with me for a moment. You look pale. Ava sits beside her, steadying her voice. Mom, how is your chest today? It feels heavy, her mother admits softly. But I will be fine. I always am. Ava knows she is not fine. The medication is too expensive, the doctor visits too far apart, and their savings have run dry months ago. She looks at the overdue medical bill taped to the refrigerator. A thick red stamp marks the bottom, final notice. Her stomach twists. After dinner, Ava retreats to her small room. The contract folder waits on the bed like an unwanted guest. She opens it slowly, her eyes scanning the pages again. Clause 1, no romantic obligations. Clause 2, attend 5 major public events with Cole Harrison. Clause 3, maintain strict privacy. Clause 4, 6-month duration. Clause 5, financial support and full protection of her identity. The terms are cold, but they are clear and honest in their own way. Her phone buzzes. A text from her landlord. Ava, I am sorry. I cannot wait any longer. Please clear the unit by Friday. Friday, 3 days from now. Ava closes her eyes. Her life is collapsing faster than she can catch it. She thinks of Cole Harrison's controlled voice, of the weight in his eyes when he said he needed stability. He did not pretend to be a hero. He did not sugarcoat anything. He presented a deal, nothing more. A cold, reasonable lifeline of a deal. When she opens her eyes again, she sees her mother asleep on the couch, curled up under a thin blanket. There is a tenderness that breaks something inside Ava. She cannot fail her. Not again. Just after midnight, Ava steps outside onto the apartment balcony. The city lights flicker like distant beacons. She dials the number written on the last page of the contract. It rings once, twice. Then his voice comes through, calm and sharp as ever. Ava. She swallows hard. I have read the contract, she says. All of it. And? Cole asks. The wind pushes through her hair as she steadies her breath. I need to make sure of something. Ava says quietly. If I agree to help you, if I agree to pretend, you will keep your word about helping my mother, and you will respect those boundaries. Every single one. Cole replies without hesitation. You will have full autonomy. I am not here to control you. I am here to make this situation less destructive for both of us. Ava looks up at the dim stars. Then I will do it, she says. There is a silence on the line, the kind that feels like something shifting. Good, Cole answers. I will send a car in the morning. We have a lot to prepare. When Ava hangs up, Her legs feel weak. She slides down against the railing, hugging her knees to her chest. There is fear. There is exhaustion. There is a strange calm settling over her, like the moment before a storm touches down. Inside the apartment, her mother stirs slightly, whispering Ava's name in her sleep. Ava wipes her eyes, stands up, and closes the balcony door gently. She has made her choice. And tomorrow, her world will change in ways she cannot yet imagine. The next morning, Ava Coleman wakes up long before sunrise. Her eyes feel heavy, but her decision from midnight is still firm in her chest. Today, she will step into a world that does not belong to her, and yet, for the sake of her mother and their home, she has chosen to walk toward it. A soft honk echoes from the street below. She peeks out the window. A black sedan waits at the curb, polished so clean it reflects the street lamps like liquid silver. A driver in a gray suit stands by the rear door, hands folded politely. Ava glances toward the living room. Her mother is asleep again, breathing lightly. Ava whispers, "I will fix this, Mom. I promise." She grabs her worn bag, slips out quietly, and heads down the stairs. The driver opens the door as she approaches. "Miss Coleman," he says respectfully. "Mr. Harrison is expecting you." The ride is silent except for the low hum of the engine. The city is still half asleep when they reach the Harrison Tower, 45 stories of glass that catches the early sunlight like a crystal blade. The revolving doors glide open, revealing a lobby filled with marble, chrome, and quiet authority. Ava follows the driver into the private elevator that shoots upward with smooth speed. Before she can steady her breathing, the doors open. Into a sleek conference floor. Cole Harrison stands near the tall windows, a city skyline stretching behind him. He turns when he hears her steps. "Ava," he says, his tone neither cold nor warm, simply measured. "Thank you for coming." She nods, clutching the strap of her bag. "I said I would." He gestures toward the long glass table, where a set of documents wait neatly arranged. "This is the full written contract," he explains. "My attorney tailored it overnight to make sure everything is within legal boundaries. You have complete freedom to decline any section before signing." Ava sits, unfolding the first page. The crisp paper makes her palms feel unusually warm. Cole takes the seat across from her. "There are 5 primary conditions," he says, "each one designed to protect both of us." He speaks clearly, almost formally. Condition 1, no romantic obligations. This is not an emotional relationship. It is strictly professional. Ava nods. "Understood." Condition 2, you will be present at 5 major public events with me. These are important to my company's stability, and your presence strengthens the narrative. She tilts her head slightly. "What narrative?" "That I am capable of commitment," he answers. "Investors need the illusion of steadiness. You help provide that." Her stomach tightens for a moment, but she continues reading. Condition 3, privacy. Anything shared between us stays confidential. No statements to the press without mutual consent. That one makes sense. She signs the initial beside it. Condition 4, living arrangement. Cole continues. You will stay in the guest wing of my residence. Separately. No shared space is required, except during public appearances. Ava blinks. "I have to live there." "Yes," he replies. "The arrangement must appear genuine. But you will have your own space, your own routine, and your own independence." She breathes out slowly. It is overwhelming, but not frightening. Finally, Cole taps the last clause. Condition 5, compensation and protection. While he speaks, Ava hears none of the arrogance she expected from a millionaire. This section includes covering your mother's medical expenses, securing your housing, and providing a financial buffer for you after the contract ends. Everything is transparent. There are no hidden expectations. Ava studies his expression. "You really thought this through." "I had to," he replies. "I will not risk another misunderstanding between us." She looks down again. The edges of the pages blur slightly as her eyes sting. She forces herself to inhale slowly. "You are sure you want someone like me?" she asks softly. "I am not polished. I do not fit your world." Cole does not look away. "That is exactly why you were chosen. You do not act for cameras. You do not pretend. People will see that." A brief silence settles over the room. Ava places her pen on the signature line. "For 6 months," she whispers. "For 6 months," Cole confirms. Her hand trembles only once before she signs her name, Ava Coleman. Cole signs beside her, his handwriting sharp and precise. When it is done, he gently slides a small velvet box toward her. Inside is a simple engagement ring, not extravagant, not glittering with diamonds, but elegant, understated, and undeniably beautiful. Ava stares at it, startled. I cannot accept something this expensive. It is not expensive, Cole says. It is tasteful. More importantly, it is necessary for the story. She lifts the ring carefully, feeling the cool metal against her skin. So this is real, she murmurs. As real as a contract can be, he replies. A moment passes between them. Not romantic, not soft. Simply an understanding that their lives just shifted onto an entirely new path. Cole stands. We begin your transition today. You will need wardrobe fittings, etiquette preparation, and a short briefing from my team. He pauses. I will join you when possible. Ava rises slowly, clutching the ring box. Then I guess this is the start, she says. Cole nods. Yes, he answers. This is the beginning of everything we have just agreed to. Ava follows Cole Harrison out of the conference room and into the private elevator that leads to the executive floors. Her signed contract is still warm in her hands, and the ring box sits quietly in her bag as if it already knows it does not belong in her world. Cole stands beside her, silent but steady, his posture composed in a way that suggests he has trained himself to never show uncertainty. The elevator opens into a bright studio lined with racks of clothing, mirrors with soft lighting, and a team already waiting. The moment they see Cole, they straighten. The moment they see Ava, they soften. A woman steps forward with a warm smile. Miss Coleman, welcome. My name is Dana, and I will be guiding your wardrobe. Transformation. Ava forces a polite smile. Transformation sounds intense. Dana laughs. Do not worry. We are keeping you as you are. We are only helping you fit into certain environments without losing yourself. Ava relaxes a little. Dana gestures toward a row of outfits. These are curated for the next 2 weeks of public appearances. Everything is neutral, elegant, and comfortable. Nothing overwhelming. Ava hesitates before touching a soft cream-colored blouse. The fabric feels nothing like the discount rack pieces she wears for work. It feels steady. Dana nods approvingly. You will learn which colors photograph best, how lighting affects texture, and what details matter on camera, Dana explains. None of this is about pretending. It is about managing perception. Ava swallows. Managing perception. She wonders if she is ready for a life where perception matters more than truth. The next room is an etiquette space with a long dining table, elegant place settings, and subtle classical music playing in the background. A mentor named Grant gives her a gentle bow. Miss Coleman, I am here to help you with posture, greetings, and small talk strategy. Nothing complicated. Only enough to ensure you feel confident in any room. He demonstrates how to stand gracefully without appearing stiff. Ava tries to mirror him but bumps her hip against the table, sending a fork clattering. She flushes instantly. Grant only smiles. That is perfectly normal. Confidence is a skill, not a trait. Cole watches from the doorway, and Ava cannot tell whether he is amused or quietly impressed. For the first time, she senses that he sees her effort, not her mistakes. Hours later, she follows Dana into a salon space for hair and makeup guidance. The stylist studies Ava thoughtfully. We will not change your look, he says. We will highlight your features. You have a sincerity that cameras love. Let us work with that. Ava has never considered how sincerity could be a valued trait. She always believed people only noticed confidence, sophistication, or wealth. But sincerity? That feels like something she can offer. When her hair is styled into soft waves and her makeup is refreshed with natural tones, Ava barely recognizes the woman in the mirror. She is still herself, but steadier, clearer, less weighed down by fear. Cole approaches and stops beside her reflection. That looks more like who you really are, he says quietly. Ava turns to him. Who I am is a substitute teacher who cannot afford her bills. He holds her gaze. That is not all you are. His words land softly, but they linger. The afternoon concludes in a strategy room where Cole's assistant, Morgan, explains upcoming appearances. A gala next week. A luncheon with investors. A charity event for educational outreach. Every event is familiar to Cole, but foreign to Ava. Morgan slides a digital tablet toward her. This schedule will sync to your phone. You will receive notes before each event, including dress codes and expected interactions. Ava exhales, overwhelmed but determined. I will do my best. Morgan smiles. Your best will be enough. Finally, as evening settles over the city, Cole walks her to the private elevator again. The day has been long, full of new skills, new faces, and new expectations. Ava murmurs, I hope this works. Cole replies, it will. You are doing everything right. The elevator doors begin to close, but before they shut entirely, Cole adds, and Ava, thank you for trying. She nods as the doors slide shut, her reflection staring back at her, stronger than she felt this morning, yet aware that this journey is only beginning. She tucks the ring box deeper into her bag, feeling the weight of what it represents, and steps out of the building into the cool evening air, her heart steady, her pulse rising with the unknown that now waits ahead. Ava stands at the base of the sweeping staircase inside the Harrison estate, adjusting the simple engagement ring on her finger. Tonight is the first major public event listed in the contract, a charity gala hosted by the Harrison Foundation. It is her official debut beside Cole Harrison, and every part of her feels unsteady. Dana finishes smoothing the shoulder of Ava's navy evening dress. You look perfect, she says warmly. Remember, confidence is quiet. You let the room come to you. Ava tries to smile, but her nerves send a tremor through her hands. I have never been to anything like this. That is why you will stand out, Dana replies. You are real. The driver arrives to take her to the downtown venue. The ride is silent except for the gentle hum of traffic. When she steps out of the car, flashes immediately erupt, pockets of bright white light exploding across the carpet. Photographers call Cole's name, but several cameras shift toward her, curious about the woman standing at his side. Cole walks toward her from the entrance, dressed in a black tailored suit, looking like the world bends for him without resistance. When he reaches her, he dips his head slightly. Ava, you made it. She exhales, grateful to see a familiar face. You look calm. That is the illusion, he says with a faint smile. Ready? Not really. That is normal. He offers his arm. She hesitates for a heartbeat, then places her hand gently on it. Together, they step into the shimmering lights of the gala. The ballroom is filled with glass chandeliers, polished floors, and guests dressed in elegance and confidence. Classical music drifts through the air. Servers glide between tables carrying trays of sparkling drinks. Ava feels dozens of eyes turning toward them, weighing her, measuring her. Cole leans in slightly. Deep breaths. Just walk with me. She nods, her shoulders straightening as they make their way toward the center of the room. A small group of investors approaches, smiling with polite curiosity. Mr. Harrison, one of them says, and this must be the fiancé we have heard about. Ava swallows, feeling the old instinct to shrink into the background. But she remembers Grant's words from training. Confidence is a skill. She smiles softly. Yes, my name is Ava Coleman. It is very nice to meet you. Her voice is steady, warm, and entirely sincere. The investor seems pleasantly surprised. Well spoken, he says. Cole, she is a natural fit. Cole gives Ava a short, approving glance. She is authentic. That matters. For a moment, Ava feels herself stand taller. But the test has only begun. Near the end of the room, a woman in a silver gown steps toward them. She looks powerful, confident, and unmistakably skeptical. Her name is Victoria Hale, one of the most influential board members of Harrison Enterprises. Cole, Victoria says, her tone sugary but sharp underneath. You did not tell us much about your new fiancé. Ava offers a polite smile. We have only recently begun this journey. Victoria's gaze flickers over Ava's dress, her posture, her ring, assessing every detail with cold precision. And what is it you do, Miss Coleman? She asks. Ava answers honestly. I am a substitute teacher. There is a small shift in the air. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. Hey. Few nearby guests exchange quick glances, surprised by her simplicity. Victoria tilts her head. A substitute teacher? That is unexpected. Cole steps forward slightly, as if shielding Ava. Victoria, he says, voice firm. Ava's background is not up for debate. But Ava touches his arm, a gentle signal that she can stand on her own. It is fine, she says softly. She looks at Victoria directly, her voice calm and clear. My work may not be glamorous, but it matters to me. I help students who need consistency when their teachers cannot be there. I do my best with what I have, and I am proud of that. Victoria blinks, momentarily disarmed. The surrounding guests fall silent. Ava holds her posture, not defensive, simply honest. After a long moment, Victoria nods. Well, sincerity is rare these days. I suppose that has its own value. Cole looks at Ava with something like quiet surprise, admiration hidden beneath his composed expression. As the night continues, Ava greets several more guests. She stumbles once when a server nearly bumps her, and she accidentally calls a senator sir twice, but she keeps her composure. Her sincerity becomes her strength. When the event winds down, Cole leads her toward the terrace where the city lights glow like falling stars. The cool air wraps around them as the noise from the ballroom fades. You handled yourself better than I expected, Cole says softly. Ava releases a shaky laugh. I was terrified the entire time. No one could tell. A moment of silence stretches between them, not uncomfortable, but fragile. Cole adds, you proved something important tonight. You can stand in any room and hold your own. Ava looks out over the skyline. I hope that is enough. It is more than enough, he replies. She turns back toward the ballroom, knowing the public test she feared so deeply is now behind her. She survived it. She carried herself with grace. And for the first time since signing the contract, she feels the faintest spark of belief that maybe, just maybe, she can navigate this strange new life. Cole Harrison walks beside Ava across the terrace as the doors of the gala close behind them. The night air is cool, carrying the faint scent of the ocean even from this distance. The city glows beneath them, and for the first time since arriving, Ava feels she can finally breathe without the weight of 100 eyes. Cole rests his hands lightly on the railing, looking out over the lights. You did well tonight, he says quietly. Better than anyone expected. Ava exhales, a soft, shaky sound. I kept thinking I would trip over my dress or forget someone's name. I still feel like my heart is racing. It should, Cole replies. Tonight was intense, and you handled every moment. The compliment hangs in the air between them. Ava wonders whether he speaks as part of the agreement or if this is genuinely how he feels. She glances at him. His expression is softer now, the sharpness gone from his features. Was it always like this? She asks. People watching you all the time? Cole's jaw moves slightly as he thinks. It was worse when I took over the company, he says. My father built this empire with impossible expectations. When I stepped in, every investor waited for me to fail. Ava listens quietly, not interrupting. Cole continues, his voice lower than before. I learned to hide everything. Stress, fear, mistakes. Showing any weakness felt dangerous. People use it against you. That last sentence carries a weight Ava has felt too, but for very different reasons. She steps beside him, leaning gently on the railing. I grew up in the opposite world, she says softly. People did not watch me. They overlooked me. I was never important enough to be noticed. I used to think that was a good thing. Cole turns slightly toward her. And now I am not sure, Ava admits. Tonight was the first time I felt like I had to prove I deserved to be in the room. You proved it, he says firmly. She looks at him, surprised by the conviction in his voice. For a moment, neither of them speaks. The wind moves Ava's hair across her shoulder. Cole notices and hesitates before saying, almost cautiously, you know, you do not have to try so hard to fit my world. There is nothing wrong with who you already are. Ava's breath catches in her throat. No one has ever said that to me. Cole looks down at the terrace floor, as if wrestling with something he does not want to fully reveal. My world is built on appearances, he says. But what I saw tonight, your sincerity, your honesty, it drew people in more than any speech I could have given. Ava feels a warmth she did not expect. Not romance, not infatuation, just understanding. The rare feeling of being seen without judgment. She studies Cole's expression. His eyes look tired, not from the event, but from years of carrying burdens she cannot yet imagine. She asks quietly, do you ever wish your life was normal? All the time, he answers without hesitation. The honesty of it settles deeply in Ava's chest. She nods slowly, absorbing his words. Maybe that is why this arrangement works, she says. You need someone who does not know how to pretend. And I need someone who knows how to survive when things fall apart. Cole's gaze lifts to hers, steady and thoughtful. That might be the most accurate summary of our situation so far, he replies. Inside the ballroom, music drifts faintly through the closed doors, but the terrace feels like its own quiet world. No spectators, no gossip, no contract expectations. Just two people who, for the first time, are not performing. Cole straightens slightly. We should get going. My driver is ready. Ava nods. Thank you for standing up for me tonight. You earned it, he says. Every part of it. As they walk back inside, Ava notices something she did not see at the beginning of the evening. Cole is not walking ahead of her. He is walking beside her. And for reasons she cannot yet explain, that small shift means everything. The next morning begins with an unusual calm inside the Harrison estate. Ava wakes earlier than usual, still replaying the gala in her mind. She remembers the bright lights, the polite smiles, the unexpected support from Cole, and the strange comfort of knowing she had not disappointed him. She ties her hair back and steps into the kitchen, expecting silence. Instead, she finds Morgan, Cole's assistant, already preparing notes for the upcoming week. Good morning, Miss Coleman, Morgan says. Mr. Harrison is in a board meeting. It may run longer than expected. Ava nods, pouring herself a cup of tea. That is fine. I have some lesson plans to work on for the school district. Morgan hesitates for a moment before adding gently, You did very well last night. Everyone noticed. Ava offers a modest smile, unsure how to respond. Thank you. But that calm lasts only until late afternoon. A sudden knock echoes through the hallway. Before Ava can reach the door, one of the household staff answers it. The voice that follows is sharp, clipped, and unmistakably familiar. Victoria Hale. Ava stiffens instantly. Victoria steps inside without waiting for permission, her heels striking the marble floor with the confidence of someone who believes she owns every room she enters. She looks around the foyer with a critical eye, then spots Ava. Miss Coleman, Victoria says, her tone polite but cold. We need to talk. Ava swallows. Mr. Harrison is not home. I am aware, Victoria replies. This conversation is not for him. It is for you. She moves closer, her expression unreadable. At the gala, you held your own. I will give you that. But one good evening does not mean you understand the stakes of standing next to Cole Harrison. Ava forces her voice to stay steady. I never claimed to. Victoria crosses her arms. I am going to be direct. People in Cole's world are already digging into your past. Reporters, bloggers, investors. They are looking for weaknesses, for inconsistencies, for anything that proves you do not belong here. Ava's stomach tightens. I have nothing to hide. Everyone has something to hide, Victoria says sharply. And even if you do not, they will invent something. They always do. Ava steps back slightly, her palms instinctively curling. Why are you telling me this? Victoria studies her for a long moment. Because I care about the company, she says finally. And I care about Cole. If you break under pressure, you do not just embarrass yourself. You damage him. Ava's voice shakes, but she refuses to lower her eyes. I am not trying to damage anyone. That may be true, Victoria replies. But intention does not matter. Perception does. The same word Ava has been hearing since this arrangement began. Victoria leans in slightly, her voice a quiet threat. Do not make the mistake of thinking sincerity will protect you. If you fail publicly, they will call you unqualified, or worse, opportunistic. Ava inhales sharply. That is not who I am. Victoria raises an eyebrow. Then prove it. Before Ava can respond, the front door opens. Cole enters, removing his jacket, but freezes instantly when he sees the tension in the foyer. Victoria, he says, his tone darkening. What are you doing here? Victoria turns smoothly, offering advice. Uninvited advice, Cole corrects. Victoria lifts her chin. Better she hears the truth now, before the world decides to teach her in a harsher way. Ava feels heat rise in her chest, not anger, but embarrassment. She does not want Cole to think she cannot handle herself. Cole, she says quietly, it is fine. No, he replies. It is not. He steps between them, positioning himself solidly at Ava's side. Victoria, if you want to discuss investor relations or board matters, you come to me. Not Ava. She is under my protection. Victoria looks at him, then at Ava, then sighs softly. I hope you know what you are doing, she says. I do, Cole answers. Victoria gives Ava one last measuring glance before turning sharply and leaving the estate. The door shuts behind her. Silence floods the foyer. Cole exhales slowly, turning to Ava. She should not have spoken to you like that. Ava lowers her gaze, gripping her hands together. She is right, though? I do not know your world. That does not mean you cannot learn it, Cole says firmly. And it does not mean you deserve to be judged before you even start. Ava looks up, meeting his eyes. There is no softness in his expression, only certainty. A certainty she has never had directed at her before. Do not let her shake your confidence, he adds. Last night, you proved something important. You proved you can stand beside me. Ava exhales slowly, the tension easing from her shoulders. Thank you, she whispers. Cole nods once, steady and unwavering. We move forward, he says. Together. And for the first time since the contract began, Ava truly believes him. The next 2 days pass quietly inside the Harrison estate, but the calm does not last. Ava begins to notice small changes around her. Whispers among staff when they glance at their phones, Morgan speaking in shorter, more urgent tones, and Cole stepping out for longer meetings without explanation. By the third morning, the tension becomes impossible to ignore. Ava is in the kitchen pouring tea when Morgan rushes in holding a tablet. His expression is unusually tight. Miss Coleman, he says carefully, I think you should see this. Ava takes the tablet, confusion turning to dread as a headline fills the screen. Ava Coleman, mystery fiancé or calculated opportunist? Sources claim she trapped Cole Harrison after a private night together. Ava's chest tightens. They are lying. She whispers. Morgan speaks gently. I know. Cole knows. But the story is spreading. Ava scrolls down with trembling fingers. Edited photos, misleading quotes, fabricated timelines. A detail catches her eye. Someone leaked information about her financial struggles, turning her hardship into ammunition. Her stomach twists. Before she can speak, Cole enters the room, his expression sharp with controlled anger. Ava, he says softly, I need you to come with me. Without asking questions, she follows him to his office. The moment the door closes, Cole exhales, his composure cracking for the first time since their agreement began. I am sorry, he says. I should have seen this coming. Ava clutches the tablet. They are calling me manipulative. They are saying I used our night at the pier to force you into an engagement. They are saying I staged everything. Cole meets her eyes with quiet certainty. I know you did not. But they do not. Ava replies, her voice trembling. Everyone is reading this. My school district. My neighbors. My mother's nurses. They will think I am someone I am not. Cole steps closer, his tone steady and deliberate. This is a targeted attack. Someone wants control of the narrative before the contract strengthens our position. Ava looks at him with confusion and hurt. Why me? Why now? Because you are the easiest person to blame, Cole answers. And because someone believes damaging you will damage me. A thought hits her suddenly. Victoria. Cole does not confirm it, but he does not deny it either. Ava's shoulders begin to shake, not from fear, but from humiliation. I have worked so hard to stay honest, to stay invisible. I never wanted any of this. Cole listens silently, letting her speak. I thought if I agreed to this contract, it would protect my mother and give me a chance to breathe. I did not realize it would destroy whatever reputation I still had. Cole takes a measured breath. You are not going to face this alone. She lifts her eyes, filled with disbelief. I cannot ask you to fix this. You are not asking, he says. This is my responsibility. You are part of my public story now, and I will not allow lies to tear you apart. A sudden knock interrupts them. Morgan re-enters, holding another device. Cole, he says, glancing at Ava with sympathy. A major outlet picked up the story. They are questioning whether the engagement was real or part of a calculated plan. The words hang heavily. Cole closes his eyes for a moment, then opens them with new resolve. Prepare the press room, he says to Morgan. We are addressing this today. Ava steps back, startled. You want to make a statement? Publicly? Yes, Cole answers. You deserve the truth to be heard. And I deserve to admit the truth. Ava's breath catches. What truth? That the narrative being spread is false, he says. And that I am the one who approached you after the pier. Not the other way around. Her eyes widen. But if you say that, you will be admitting, I know, Cole interrupts. I will be admitting fault. I will be admitting that I misjudged you. And I will be admitting that you never manipulated anything. Ava feels the room shift, as if the ground beneath her steadies rather than shakes. Cole, people might think less of you. I can live with that, he he says. But I will not let them think less of you because of me. Before she can respond, Morgan nods and disappears to prepare the press room. Ava stands in silence for a long moment, the reality settling over her. Cole is not just protecting the contract. He is protecting her dignity, something no one has ever done for her before. Cole turns toward her one last time, his voice certain and unwavering. Whatever happens next, Ava, we face it together. And for the first time since the scandal began, she believes him. The press room inside Harrison Tower fills quickly, cameras clicking as reporters settle into their seats. Ava waits behind the curtain, her hands clasped tightly together. She can hear the rising buzz of speculation. Every headline from the past 24 hours echoes in her thoughts. She takes a slow breath, reminding herself that Cole asked her to stand beside him, not behind him. When Cole steps out onto the stage, the noise softens into a focused silence. He looks composed, but Ava can see the tension in his shoulders. He adjusts the microphone and scans the room. Thank you for being here, he begins. I intend to make one statement, and then I will take questions. Ava watches from the doorway as the lights hit him, turning the space around him into a frame that demands attention. Cole continues, his voice steady. Over the past day, several outlets published harmful and false claims about my fiancée, Ava Coleman. These claims suggest she manipulated me, trapped me, or exploited a moment that was private and deeply misunderstood. He pauses. I am here to correct that. Reporters shift forward, notebooks ready. I was the one who approached Ava, he says clearly. I was the one who asked for her help. While the details remain private, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. Ava did not manipulate anything. She did not seek fame, money, or attention. She was pulled into this by my mistake, not hers. A quiet ripple moves through the room. Cole continues. If someone should be held accountable, that person is me. I allowed my world to spill into hers. I allowed assumptions to spread before I protected her reputation. For that, I take full responsibility. Behind the curtain, Ava feels something shift inside her. Relief, gratitude, and a sense of justice she did not expect to receive. Cole lifts his chin slightly. Ava Coleman is an honest woman, a dedicated educator, and someone who has carried herself with more integrity in 2 weeks than many people in my industry show in a lifetime. There is a murmur among the reporters. Cameras flash. And regarding our engagement, Cole adds, yes, it began as a contractual agreement, but it has become something far more meaningful than either of us anticipated. Ava's breath catches. He did not promise romance, not affection, not emotion. But he acknowledged the shift, the way they have changed each other. Cole finishes with a steady voice. If the world wants a story, let it be this. Ava did not gain anything from me. I gained decency from her. He steps back as reporters erupt with questions, but he gives a simple hand gesture and exits the stage, refusing interviews. It is not a performance. It is a declaration. When he enters the backstage area, he finds Ava standing still, her eyes shining with emotion she does not attempt to hide. That was unexpected, she whispers. It was necessary, Cole replies. You deserve the truth to be spoken out loud. Ava looks at him, unsure how to express what she feels. You risked your reputation. I protected yours, Cole says simply. That matters more. They walk together through a quiet hallway toward a private elevator. The world outside is still loud, still chaotic, but here it feels like the noise has softened into a distant hum. When they reach the elevator, Cole pauses. Ava, he says gently, the contract ends in a few months. But what we said today, what we faced, it was real. She nods, not trusting her voice yet. You do not have to answer anything now, he adds. But I hope, when the time comes, you will choose what is right for you. Not what the contract says. Not what the world expects. Ava finally speaks, her tone quiet, but sure. I do not know what the future looks like, but I know I trust you now. And for me, that is a beginning. Cole breathes out, a sound of relief more than optimism. Then we will move forward from there. As they step into the elevator, Ava slips her hand briefly along the velvet ring box inside her bag. The contract brought them together, but the truth they shared today reshaped everything. The doors close slowly, reflecting their silhouettes side by side. No longer two strangers bound by circumstance, but two people stepping into a future that neither of them planned, yet both silently accept. The story ends not with certainty, but with something better, a promise of honesty, a possibility of healing, and the quiet understanding that real commitments are not written on paper. They are chosen, over time, and with truth.